Commissioners, this is for you, and then as well as the mayor. You both said that there was, called the video appalling in regards to the two officers and the rest of those juveniles. What's your reaction to the Attorney General's announcement yesterday? This was for both of you.
Certainly. This is a process. Back in July, it occurred. We released body cam video, immediately asked for a review by the Attorney General and the State Police. The results of that review and a grand jury that heard this case returned a no true bill, meaning no criminal charges against the officer. So at this point, we just got the report yesterday from the Attorney General's office. We're going to continue to review and then administratively look to see what sanctions and what policy violations may have occurred, and then we'll proceed from there. Obviously, the Leah Ward restricts us from publicly commenting on any particular case. If any officer is facing more than 2 days suspension, we are restricted from publicly talking about it. And so we're going to process, as I believe you know, that Officer Diaz is on military leave and isn't coming back until November of this year. And so nothing can happen until he returns, and we'll review all the material that we have and make determinations what happened and what, if anything, to hold officer or officers accountable. So I will tell you, because I know, when I originally saw the video, any use of force is striking, even to a seasoned police officer that's been involved in uses of force. Today, we have the benefit of video, and my reaction then hasn't changed, that it's troubling, and I can't say anything beyond that because the process is going to move forward. So I have to leave it at that because I don't want to jeopardize, under the Leah Ward statute, specific comments that a case may be pending and adjudicated before Leah Ward, and any legal challenges that may occur.
So one of the experts said that they found that the punching one of the juveniles was warranted as part of the Providence Police use of force policy. What can you go into that and spitting on these juveniles? I mean, is that part of the policy?
So, I'm teetering on, so I'm going to talk generally. Our policy allows closed hand blows. It allows it. It allows blows to the face as well. And so that in itself is not a policy violation. All the other stuff you're asking about is specific to this case. So look, you saw it, the community saw it, and that's not reflective of a Providence police officer. And we're just going to have to both take our time and, as a result of him serving our country, wait until he returns and process everything.
And generally speaking, when is it appropriate to, like you say, have close hand blows to suspects with arrest?
So if somebody's not complying, somebody is not handcuffed and under control, and there's resistance, you have a legal right as a police officer and under our policy to use force. And we're trained in various techniques in use of force. So in those scenarios, when the suspect is resisting or not complying with officers' demands, you have a duty to ensure that this suspect can't get out a weapon or isn't of immediate threat to the officers there and anyone else.
Mayor, are you satisfied with the play of this?
So, I did owe, a lot of what the commissioner mentioned. The only thing that I'll add is that, our police department was closely involved with the Attorney General's office in the investigation of this. It is a process that they went through, and the AG decided to go through through the grand jury process. So, you know, our police department assisted in compiling all the evidence and putting it forward. As you know, when it happened, we made the decision, as is consistent with our policy, to release all the videos and be as transparent and public about it as possible. The unfortunate piece of it is we're limited in what we can say publicly. You know, the comments that we made shortly after it, you know, those comments still stand. But unfortunately, because of Leah Ward, you know, we have to be very careful about, you know, what we say about this situation, at the risk of jeopardizing any action that's taken in the future on this.
The second officer, this may be for the colonel or commissioner,
Sure.
Boyer.
We're just gonna do one more question, guys.
Yes.
He's
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah, really.
He's still on duty, correct?
He was on paid suspension until December, and then he was brought back on full duty. So the answer is yes.
Commissioner,
Yes.
you mentioned that in regards to Officer Diaz, that he is not, at least his actions in your description are not reflective of Providence Police. If he comes back from military leave, how can he be accepted back onto the force if that's his position?
Look, you know, we got to take one step at a time. There's other steps that we need to take that we haven't been able to take right now. And it's just going to take us time because Officer Diaz is not in that state and he's serving our country. And we have to obviously allow him to serve and then return and then proceed with whatever we need to do. But there are some things that we need to complete before we decide what actions that we need to take.
And you've expressed an opposition to Leah Ward. I think you've said that you would want it repealed, if I'm correct. But are cases like this part of the reason why you're frustrated with Leah Ward?
I think we're all frustrated when a law that's been in place for 4 decades restricts public comments. And that's the law, and we have to follow it until it's changed.